Hello, I'm Alison Borowski,
I'm Tracey.
and we're here to talk about our gelatin experiment of germinating seeds in gelatin.
Alright, so for this experiment, we had 40 radish seeds, 4 types of gelatin that we grew for about 60 hours.
For some background information, we researched some other studies with having multiple vegetables like tomatoes, cucumbers, and just a variety basically, and they all were germinated in unflavored gelatin, and it was for the purpose to see if there would be more of an increase than using just regular water with added in materials and
Nutrients.
yeah.
Alright, so as I said, we had 4 types of gelatin. We had orange, cherry, strawberry, and unflavored, and we all grew the 40 radish seeds at about an average of 68 degrees at room temperature.
And here pictured are the strawberry, orange, and cherry and unflavored gelatin for reference. And the methods, as Hannah mentioned, were that we did this experiment within 60 hours. We made predictions while preparing the gelatin and then putting the seeds in the gelatin. And the container setup was the 4 containers, which we put the 10 seeds in each container at room temperature after the cooling of the gelatin.
Alright, so prefacing this experiment, as Allison said, we made some predictions. So Allison will explain her predictions first, and then I will go.
So what I predicted first was that the cherry gelatin would not germinate because it is stronger for the flavoring, as most flavoring of like candies are. So I didn't think it would at all. And then orange gelatin, I thought maybe some would, and it would be like the highest out of all 4. Strawberry, a little bit less. I thought the highest like length it would be probably 2 inches, if any germinated at all. And then unflavored, I did predict, based on the other studies that we researched, that it would be probably the best outcome, with, I estimated 4 inches would be the longest gelatin thing.
Alright, and then for my predictions, I thought that cherry gelatin, I thought that the seeds wouldn't germinate because Allison said cherry flavoring is quite acidic and kind of toxic. So, and for the rest of the jello, I said that it would pretty much have the exact same with growth rate. So, alright, and here are our results. So as you can see, cherry did not germinate. None of the 4 seeds germinated. For strawberry, we had the exact same results. None of the seeds germinated. For orange, we had 3 of the seeds grow about 1 inch and 1 of them 1/2 inch. And for the unflavored jello, we had all 4 of the seeds grow. 1 of them at 3, another at 3.5, and 2 at 4 inches.
Another thing to add to this graph is for the unflavored, with the 6 that did germinate, there's only 4 shown on here because 2 were the same length.
Alright, and here's another graph where we have the average seed growth of each.
As seen as the cherry not having anything, neither with the strawberry, and only orange and unflavored.
Alright, so for limitations, this study was kind of difficult to do because of accessibility reasons, transportation as well. Me and Allison live quite a bit away from each other, so going back and forth, doing this experiment, it took 60 hours, so that was kind of difficult for us. Product availability as well. We had a harder time finding the same brand of gelatin to use for germinating the seeds, and yeah.
And like Hannah said too, with the trying to find like certain brands, this does come in importance because certain brands may use a higher acidity level than others, so it's best if we have the same brand to base it off of, which we use the Walmart brand for reference. So to discuss with our results, basically the main reason why the cherry gelatin did not germinate any of the radish seeds were mainly from the flavoring being like a blockage to have like enough water to get to the seeds to then break the shell to then allow for growth. And this also happened with the strawberry gelatin, as it is more acidic, so it blocked the water content to it, and the flavoring mainly took over, and with that it's unnatural nutrients for it, and so it couldn't germinate and break the shell for any growth. And then with the orange, a difference with that is orange flavoring is less acidic, and it is not as strong of a flavor like in other products you may see in the store. And so with that, it allowed for some of the water to get through without a lot of like extra flavoring and facility added on materials. So it was allowed some of the seeds to germinate, not the best growth rate with only 4 out of 10, but it is more than cherry and strawberry. And then with the unflavored gelatin, with any like no flavor blockage of what you would call it, there was enough water to have majority of the seeds germinate, the 6 out of 10, which was a lot better growth rate than the rest for that reason that we found out, and we have researched that was the main reason, was flavoring does block it. And so without having that blockage, it was more natural, especially with organic gelatin.
Mm-hmm. And to add to this, all of the Jell-O that we used was artificially based, so it was artificially flavored. So this acid-based flavoring, as Alison said, kind of blocked these nutrients from getting to the seeds in some of these gelatins. The strength of each flavor can be seen correlating with each of the results, and yeah.
Initially we did like comparing our predictions to this, as we both predicted the cherry gelatin did not germinate. Strawberry, it didn't, and my prediction was wrong with that. And with orange, mine was correct with maybe not the length being the same like as I predicted, but it did germinate, which was correct. And then unflavored, it was correct, but a little off in the length as well, as it just is an estimate. An issue we did run into was at times with it being organic and having the natural substances in there was molding that we had to deal with after a period of time, with especially the unflavored gelatin, since there wasn't as much flavoring to stop the organic part of it. So that was something we had to deal with, so those seeds wouldn't get affected by the mold.
All right, we'd like to acknowledge some of the people who made this possible for us. Our advisor, Melissa Smith, has helped us out tremendously, whether it be providing us with materials or transportation. She's just an outstanding person to have on our side. Our parents as well. I would really like to give a shout out to them. They've been with us for this and really supporting us, as well as the high school staff. They've been supportive with this as well.
Definitely a lot of knowledge from them, and they helped us through it and explaining different things about it, like how the plants would work with possibly gelatin, and helped us get started with this project. And these are some of our references as shown in our document previously of our sources. And then for skill development, mainly we saw the influence of like environmental factors by using the gelatin and seeing how it would work, even if it's not like saying using water with the seeds. It's something different, and it still does work. And we got to experience that and see how you can use different items to germinate seeds, and it doesn't have to be water with added in nutrients and minerals. And then we did see trends of plants of having the radish seeds. Some of them germinated in certain gelatin, some not. And that was pretty interesting to see from our part.
Yeah.
So, thank you for watching. And this was our science experiment.